friends? Do we have any friends? Pity you didn't know when you started your game that I was playing too. There's no way out. Thought you could get away. There's no way out. You didn't know.
Good morning. How is everybody? First things first, a quick disclaimer. A raging thunderstorm just started here. Oh, and if you can't hear me, let me know. Um, so yeah, raging thunderstorm just started. Hopefully that does not mean that I will lose power or internet or any other weird shit, but stranger things have happened. Uh Also, my internet is a little dodgy. I've been having a little trouble with it. They're sending a tech out today. Apparently, there's noise on the line or something. So that may have been the cause of my issues last week or Tuesday, I guess. Maybe there was an issue on Saturday too. I don't remember. But yeah, can everybody hear me all right? Um, I am unmuted, so that's good, but the chat is quiet. By the way, welcome, chat, VSpec. It's good to see you. Father Fenris, always nice to see you. Darth Liquid, I am hugging you right back, uh, just like your little emote. Let's see. Um, yeah, I feel like maybe no one can hear me. Okay, wait, Darth Liquid can, I guess, because of his little emotes that I just got. So awesome, awesome. Drummond Stace, it's good to see you too. Willy Wonka, yo, dude, can you hook me up with some chocolate? That'd be dope. uh, okay, so yeah, thunderstorm, possible internet issues. We're going for the ride. We're gonna have a great time. Base Fanatic is here today. I'm super excited. Um, let's talk real quick about my birthday. The 27th is my birthday, and I'm going to be doing a special stream. Also, I'm doing a fundraiser, raising money for two charities doing awesome work to help folks that are living with mental illness and those that love them. Raising money for NAMI in the US and Mind in the UK. Those are the two countries where my biggest audiences are. So I decided I would want to help both of them. Um, any bits, subs, whatever for the month of March and the month of April will all be going to these organizations. Those links that I just put up and that will also be coming up on a timer. Those links, the money goes directly to the charity. It does not come to me at all. Tiltify is amazing. It doesn't go through me. I can't remember if Tiltify takes a percentage, but it is significantly less than the 50% that Twitch takes, which I am totally okay with, by the way. So if you want your money to go the furthest, direct donations with Tiltify are the way. I really wanted to have merch done, merch links ready for you today, but they're not. So Tuesday for sure. Or if it's before Tuesday, I'll announce it on my Instagram and then I'll announce it on Tuesday also. So, yeah, here we are. I'm super excited about that. That's going to be a really good time. Got a couple things planned. Um, so far, what I have planned right now is I am going to send my vinyl to No Use for Anger finally. I am going to send it to him. I'm super excited about it. Honestly, giving it to him is a gift to me because I don't even get to listen to them now. And so by giving them to him, I will get to listen to them. And I really do believe it's better to give than receive. I get a lot more joy out of giving stuff to people. So I'm sending my vinyl to him and we're going to like have him open the box or whatever live on stream and see what he thinks, maybe talk about the records, see if he's like particularly excited about any of them. I'll tell him the ones I really love. And then I'm going to be having a little trivia battle. I don't know how long it's going to last. And if anybody wants to help me come up with good questions, please hit me up. Focusing on mostly like 95 to 2000, but maybe a little before, maybe a little after. And my two contestants are the West Dub, my friend, my encyclopedia of jungle and drum and bass knowledge, and Golden Child, also a gigantic nerd for music information. So I think both of those will be super fun. And then I don't know what else we're going to do, but it's a birthday stream. We're going to have a good time. That's all there is to it, right? Okay. let's bring Base Fanatic in. So, what can I say about Base Fanatic by way of introduction? So, like the first time I watched Base Fanatic stream, he I didn't realize it, but I guess he had been enjoying a lot of gin, and his like overhead camera was going, and he is like bouncing. He's so excited. He's so into it. He's bouncing. I can see things moving, and he is having the best time. He's so engaged with the chat, and I fell in love with him instantly. I was just so charmed, and also immediately thought that he had a baby face, but apparently his baby face is not as baby as I think, or he's not as much of a baby as I think he is. So anyway, super excited to have him here. Let's bring him in. Hello, homie.
Hello. How you
How
doing?
are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Good, good. Everybody, can you guys hear our boy Bass Fanatic all right?
I hope so.
You might be a little quieter than me, so I may need to turn myself down
Okay, or I can shout.
to make
Either way.
it a little easier for them. Woodsy, you're a beautiful man, Bass Fanatic. Did you know that?
I get this a lot, you know.
Okay, Bass Fanatic
Inundated.
Bass Fanatic is a little low, they're saying. So I don't think I can adjust you. So, but I
Let me see if
can.
Audio.
I
One, two,
can
three,
adjust
four,
myself.
5, 6. Is this better?
Speak some more.
A little bit more. A little bit more.
Yeah,
1, 2.
you're so soft-spoken.
Sorry.
I think
I'll
that's what it is.
I'll try and pump it
Hey,
out a little bit. Is that better?
that is better. That's
Perfect.
good.
I'll try and
Yes,
shout
as
at you.
Wildcat says, a little more bass, Fanatic.
A little more bass. Okay. I'll get the
Speaking
EQ
of
out.
bass, there's the thunder outside my home.
Oh
So
gosh.
fingers crossed.
Fingers
I
crossed.
love a good thunderstorm as long as it doesn't uh, destroy my stream.
Absolutely.
Um, yes, as React says, theater voice.
Theatre voice, yes. Project myself
Yes.
to the back of the room.
Project. Yes, you are speaking to the back of the room.
Absolutely.
Speak to the check cashing place across the street.
Yeah.
Do you guys have check cashing places in the UK? Like
Sorry, check caching places. Like,
check cashing places. So like we have
yeah.
these.
I
Yeah,
think we have
like
the similar kind of thing. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, Woodsy, it's a place for like people that don't have banks but that receive like maybe their paycheck or you know, refund checks, things like that. They can go and they can get their check cash there. It's a fucking ripoff. They charge you a lot of money typically,
Yeah.
but
Sounds like a cash converters we have here. They'll
oh,
take your
okay.
money and yeah, give you a little bit of it back. Sounds like a similar kind of thing, like a pawn shop kind of thing.
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Yeah. Well, payday loans are worse, so I hope you don't have payday loans there. We can get into that gnarly topic on some other stream
Absolutely.
where I bitch about the evils of capitalism in America. Um, anyway, let's get going. So, let's talk gin real quick. I was at another I was in another
Gosh, I'm getting a bad
stream.
name for myself here. Gosh.
No, not at all. Not at all. Everybody should enjoy themselves, and there's nothing wrong with imbibing a little bit and having a
Absolutely.
good time. It's not like you're, I don't know, getting naked or going on some anti-vax rant or, you know,
Not on
something
stream,
like
no.
that.
Maybe
No, you're
afterwards.
just right. You're just having a good time. So, yeah, I was on a stream with you the other day, and somebody was asking you if you had killed the bottle, and you were like, "No, there's a finger left." I need to understand what kind of gin you like and why you enjoy it, because I have had gin one time and it was unpleasant. So, tell me about it.
Gosh, I don't know. I guess it wasn't really a thing a while ago. I don't
Hmm.
know whether I jumped on the bandwagon when it all started, growing. But no, there's just something about it. I find it quite refreshing.
Okay.
Slice of cucumber in there. Not that I ever do that at home, because yes, it's effort. I just swig the whole bottle. But but yeah, I just find it quite refreshing.
Hmm.
It's light, and you can make the mix as much as you like. So
Right.
you
Right.
know, I wouldn't necessarily be using the bathroom all the time if I do myself a pint with half and half, shall we say?
Right.
So
Right.
it's kind of a
So
couple of the main reasons. And
okay, so you like cucumber. Do you usually go for like tonic as a mixer or like seltzer?
yeah, always
Okay.
tonic or straight. If it's flavored, I can. And if I've had a few already, I'll probably just ditch the tonic and yeah, just go straight in with the shots potentially.
So I have a lot of friends that are real like cocktail wizards, right? So I do know a little bit about gin. I know that it doesn't all necessarily have the same flavor, like what some are more herbal than others. Um, is there a particular sort of flavor you prefer in your gin?
I mean, you can infuse gin with whatever you like these days. I think my parents
Hmm.
actually do it quite often. They'll just get a nice bottle of gin or a cheap bottle of gin, doesn't really matter, and put whatever fruits, whatever they like in it, to leave it for a
Hmm.
while. Boom,
Hmm.
you got a tasty gin of
Mm.
whatever you like. World's your oyster. You like strawberries? Have a strawberry gin. So one of my favourites now at the moment is probably rhubarb and ginger.
Ooh. Okay,
Bit of a bite to it.
I'll say right now, I would definitely try a strawberry gin and a rhubarb and ginger gin. Absolutely would try it.
Absolutely.
But how do you fit the whole ginger in the bottle?
Wow.
I'm trying to picture BG going into the bottle and I'm having a hard time with that.
I guess you just use a cheese grater or something and stuff it in. Who knows?
I wish he
I
was here
don't
for
make
this
it, unfortunately.
conversation.
I'm thinking about it. Might start a distillery. I should do. It'll be a lot cheaper.
Well, hopefully Becky can pass on our idea for ginger infused gin.
Absolutely.
Okay, so
What's your
how
drink
did
of
you
choice
get
then? Talking
Oh,
about all
my
my.
drink of choice?
Hmm.
So like hard liquor, what I'm really loving right now is there are a lot of distilleries around Austin, and there is a distillery called Deep Eddy, which there's like it's like a spring or a pond or something around here, and they make vodka and they do these really nice flavored vodkas. So the one that I really am liking right now is the uh, ruby red grapefruit one.
Oh, that's
And
nice.
you can drink it straight. You can drink it with like seltzer. You can, like I sometimes mix it with like a really, really tart lemon soda. But yeah, it's delicious. One of
Nice.
my favorites.
And I guess the pond water gives it an extra kind of.
I don't think they get the water from the pond. I
Oh,
don't know
okay.
where they get it from, but like literally here in Austin, we have so many breweries and then the distilleries like if you just go in like any direction around Austin, it's like you get a little far out and distillery, distillery, distillery. So lots of choices. Hey, speaking of the ginger, he's here. Hey BG,
What's up, BG?
uh Base Fanatic is going to start distilling his own gin, and you are going to be the secret ingredient. We want some ginger gin. I will try and get BG on the stream at some point and ask him about pizza making and his big black pussy causing all kinds of trouble on stream.
Yep, I've seen him stroking it. I don't know if that's against
Yes,
TOCs, but
I saw it throw up one time.
oh wow.
It was a thing.
Okay.
Um, okay, so I love your stream.
Thank you.
I love your setup, which it's right behind you, right? You have I've never seen anybody who has the actual the table that the tables rest on green screened, which I really like.
Okay.
Um, how did you start on Twitch? How and when did you start on Twitch?
Gosh, well, this is a strange story. So I actually started, I think, about 6 years ago, potentially. Right at the start, when there was very few DJs, in fact, on Twitch. I met T-Mox. He was the first guy that I saw, I think, doing drum and bass at least.
Hmm.
And yeah, just jumped on, had a go. I was actually doing it under a different name at the time,
Hmm. Hmm.
Funk You. It's the same channel. I've just changed the name on here.
Okay.
But at the time, I was doing break beats, hip hop, you name it. I was just doing whatever I felt like, basically, but predominantly drum and bass, because it's the fucking best, isn't it?
It is.
Let's not beat around the bush. As
That's
much
why
as I
we're
love
all
all
here.
the genres, it's the one for me. So
Yes.
me and T-Mox a long time talked about trying to join sort of build a community and this and that. And 3 months after my first stream, I got a job, basically working around the world as an AV tech. So
Wow.
no longer could I stream, unfortunately. So
Mhm.
yeah, that kind of stopped it dead in the water. I did that for a while, 3 years, just over, and yeah, came back. I think I got another job, and then I came back, and yeah, got back involved in Twitch, and T-Mox was smashing it, and he's built this massive community, and he invited me straight
Yes.
back in, and as soon as I said, "I remember me, I'm Funk You," he's like, yeah, get on the team, blah blah blah. And by this time, there's already loads of sick people. Obviously Gooder and BG and the rest of the guys in the team drum and bass. So I joined in, and yeah, I started doing it a little bit more frequently, but I don't think I ever actually got around to doing a schedule, because I was a bit of a I don't know what the word is, just loose. I couldn't really
Free spirit.
exactly couldn't lock it down. I felt a little bit under pressure if I had to do it on a certain day or a certain time. So yeah, I was just, whenever I felt like it, probably after a gin or two, I'd just jump on and have a go. And
Yep.
yeah, so that's about it really. And
Nice.
now I've got myself a schedule, so gives me a bit of anxiety, because I have to make sure everything's right, and I've got to be in the right frame of mind. But yeah, I'm finding it a bit easier now that there's lots of lovely people that always jump in and say hi,
Right.
which is the main thing.
Yeah, I mean, like, this must have been like flippin' wilderness 6 years ago. Because,
Yep.
like, I know, talking to No Use for Anger, he started like 2 years ago, and even then it was like a wilderness.
Yep.
So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, it took a long time to just get a couple of people watching back in the day when it first started, which for me wasn't a problem. I've never done it to try and get a big audience. It's just something to do and something to play. I love playing music.
Right.
And to be fair, it's almost sometimes better than doing it in a club, because you don't have to drive there. You can drink whatever you like. You can start and stop whenever you like. Go on forever, or just do a quick one. It really doesn't matter.
Right.
And you've got no promoters that that sometimes can be a bit. So so yeah, you're kind of just managing yourself and just having fun. And it really doesn't matter if you mess up. People might leave, they might stay. Does it matter? Not really.
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah, it's just and obviously the community here is amazing. You play in a club and you get a few sweaty people going, "Oh, can you play some like Barbie Girl or something?" You're like, "No, this is a drum and bass night, please." I love Barbie Girl, don't get me wrong, but it's not the time. Here you can put on whatever you like. Dizzy sometimes he'll splash out a bit of Barbie Girl, and you do that in the middle of a a neuro set in the middle of a club.
Yeah.
You're probably going to get chucked out by your promoter anyway, so you can't get chucked out from your own room. So it's
Exactly.
well,
and you don't have to get
different,
booked.
but it's sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was just saying it's completely different, but they're both awesome in their own rights.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. You don't have to get booked in your own room too, which
you
is
don't have
nice.
Exactly.
You're always the headliner.
Yep, that's true. And what I love is the raiding thing. You can send your people elsewhere, and you can get people coming, and it's a bit of a shock and a surprise sometimes when
Yes.
when a lot of people come in, and especially if you're already a little bit. So, but yeah, it's all good fun.
Well, I mean, like, even as just a viewer, I love the raid. That's how I found Gouda, and then that's through Gouda is how I found everybody else. So, big up raiding.
Yeah,
It's
I remember
fantastic.
when I was quite young on it, I was probably getting 10, 15 people just having a laugh. Probably mostly my mates that I was like, "Watch me, come on, watch me." And a guy called American dubstep producer called The Whittler. He raided into me, but I think at the time it was just hosting. I didn't think it was an actual raid.
Hmm.
Anyway, I had no idea that this thing had happened. I was just playing to myself. Rah, rah, rah. Suddenly, actual people started talking, and I looked at the counter, and there's like 140 people, and I just thought it was broken. I was like, "What is going on here?" And then the widow was like, "Yeah, this is a hosty raid thing, and big ups, I love your stuff." And it was just, that was the first time that I realised what it all kind of was about, and a community, and sharing, and growing, just seeing people you like, and
Yeah.
it's just such a friendly atmosphere. You cannot beat it anywhere.
It's
So
incredible.
big up Twitch, Bozo,
Absolutely.
whatever it is,
Well, and credit where credit is due. Like T-Monks and you and all of the guys that were doing this before COVID, you guys all really set a tone. You know, the people who are streaming, the people who are visible, are the ones that really establish like what is acceptable behavior here. You know, what are we about? And from the very moment I started, it was very clear that what we are about is having a good time, supporting one another, engaging with one another. And so props to you, props to our boy T Mox.
Yeah, big up T Mox.
Yeah.
He's the king.
Yeah. Oh
Love the
my
guy.
God. Like he, if it hadn't been for him, and like for some reason, like at the time that I started, he was playing a lot. And I spent so much time in his chat,
Yeah,
and him and Sonopon and his whole squad were so friendly and so welcoming and so not gatekeeping. I mean, I was in, man. I was locked. Like
yeah.
this is my spot. Um
Well, this is the thing. It's not quite like that in the real world, if you like, of the not online world. You're kind of
mhm,
fighting to get a set somewhere almost. You
mhm,
know, if you're not the Groove Riders and the Andy C's that just sit there and everyone wants them, you've got to
right.
really push yourself out there and try and
Mhm,
show what you can do. But here you
mhm.
can just do what you like, and if people like you or don't,
Yeah.
it's no bother. So
Well, and out there, uh, even if there are 15 fantastic DJs, all of equal caliber, there may only be 5 slots.
yeah,
So even if you are good, even if you are pushing yourself, even if you have connections, there are limits. On here, there's no limit at all.
yeah,
You can go on whenever you want. It's
exactly.
amazing. Um, uh, hey, Curly Nan, thanks for following. Always good to have another Curly up in here. Not enough. Um, uh, so talk to me a little bit about like, so obviously we've talked about the community and how the community is fantastic here. I feel like a broken record, but I love talking about it every time. I don't
Yep.
care. I'll talk
It's the
about it
one thing that
forever.
brings us all back. If there wasn't a
Right.
community in the chat and the good spirits, I wouldn't
Hmm.
be here.
Oh God, no,
There'd be no
no.
point. I'd be
There's
sitting
no
on
way I would have.
Facebook lonely going, well,
Yeah. Well, that's the reason only reason I started doing this. Like, if I had not like streaming here allows us to get to know the streamer, right? It's not like at a club where the DJ is elevated or behind something, like separated, and they're sort of remote and distant. Here, you guys are really accessible and really close and really get to show us who you are. And that made me want to talk to people more.
absolutely.
Um, so tell me a little bit how the landscape has changed since I guess let's say March of 2020, and sort of what you thought as it was happening.
Wow, that's a good question. Um, I mean, March feels like an eternity ago, being
Right?
locked in this room, for so long on my own. It's surprised I haven't gone insane. In fact, I think if it wasn't for Twitch and you lovely lot,
Hmm.
I probably wouldn't be as happy as I am right now, because I still
Yes.
feel like I've had this connection with so many people, and yeah, that just wouldn't have happened
Hmm.
without it. So yeah, got to thank the community again for that. So but yeah, I mean, it's been a tough one, but I just feel so lucky that um, I mean, my hobbies are obviously DJing, production, gaming, and I'm so lucky that I can do all that from my own home. You know what I mean? And I can interact with my friends over games and all that kind of stuff. So I just feel for anyone that doesn't have, especially some of the older generation that might not have anything to do other than reading a book, or So I generally feel quite blessed in this shitstorm of a situation that we seem to be in.
Right.
And how about yourself?
I mean, I didn't even find Twitch until April of 2020 because my best friend told me about a Hornet stream, and I didn't know what to expect. Like, honestly, at the time I was getting out of drum and bass, like pendulum type stuff was like not my jam. I was like, I'm sick of this shit. Like, there has to be another sound. Forget it. And so I was shocked when I found his stream and all of the different kinds of music he played, like
Absolutely,
completely
yeah.
unexpected kinds of music. Like the fact that I love a good sappy song and I don't fucking care like what anybody thinks about it, right? The fact that he is the one that has introduced me to all of these like super sappy, happy, like emotional tunes just blows my mind and makes my day.
Yeah, his taste
Um,
is so eclectic, it's unreal.
oh God, it's amazing. It's amazing. And he was like a really good introduction to sort of this new, um, at least it was kind of new to me, sort of perspective, like more grown up perspective in the community that um, variety is good, and just because I don't like it doesn't mean it's shit. And like
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, obviously it was different 20 years ago, but probably because I was 20 years younger too. Um,
Oh, absolutely,
and,
absolutely.
and thought I knew everything. Didn't we
As you do
all
at
at
that age.
20? But yeah, I had no idea that I would find community or people talking or whatever. Uh, it took, I mean, it probably took another 4 months at least before, or 6 months before I found everybody else. Like, I'm so dumb. A, it never occurred to me that DJs were on Twitch. And B, even after sitting in El Hornet's stream, it never occurred to me that other DJs were on Twitch.
Right. And look at it now.
Very smart.
After, a year into lockdown, there's 10, 20 extra drum and bass DJs a day coming in.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So we're going to
Yeah.
have a lot more talent, and hopefully just grow the community and grow it and grow it and grow it until.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, uh, shoot, what was I going to ask you? Oh, yeah. So, did you know about Twitch because of gaming and then decide you wanted to DJ on Twitch? Or were you
So
aware of DJing already on Twitch?
I was not aware of DJing. I don't believe at the time. I mean, this is a long time ago now, and I don't have the best memory in the world. But
Me
I've
neither.
got a friend that lives just around the corner, and she games. She plays DayZ on Twitch. Um, she's killing it right now. Lottie is her name. If you want to give her a follow as well. And
Put her
so,
name in the chat for
Yeah.
sure. Bang SO,
yeah,
and we'll get her link up there.
It's literally that now because she's just had it changed, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
So she and her boyfriend at the time, who's now they're now no longer together, unfortunately or fortunately, whatever. And he actually said, I think he was the first person who said because he set her up with the setup and told her how to kind of do it and all that kind of stuff, and she's grown it from that. And he said to me, why don't you play some music on there? And I kind of thought, well, in my mind, Twitch is is a gaming thing, and I don't really particularly want to sit and watch people playing games all day long because I like to game myself.
Right.
I was kind of using it, if anything, just to, if a new game came out or someone was playing a new game, or I wanted to find out how to get a bit better at one of the games I'd play, I'd have a little look and go, oh, okay, this looks cool, and that kind of thing. So yeah, big up John if you're there. Maybe not, but he put me onto this and said go on, do it, and he helped me set it up all those years ago. And so yeah, I got him to really thank for starting it all off for me. And yeah, so don't look back now. And yeah, there's
Nice.
plenty of other DJs on here as well. So, and
Yeah.
you name it, cooking shows, you name it. if you
Yes.
you can find some great content here. It doesn't just have to be gaming
Yeah.
or music. So
It's amazing. It's incredible. I
absolutely.
didn't I didn't know this until recently. Did you know that the biggest category here isn't even gaming? It's just chatting.
Just chatting. Yeah,
Yes. That's wild to me.
it is wild.
Like when I started doing streams on Saturdays, I only really did it to like practice and it was just me and I couldn't believe people wanted to sit there and just listen to me talk. It was crazy. I had no idea that my entire life of being a blabbermouth was preparing me for this moment.
Well, I just found another little stream the other day. So big up Dizzy 747 for putting me onto this. I can't
Nice.
remember what it is. I'd have to have a look. But it's basically a pond full of ducks and
Dash ducks.
dash ducks. So you already know about it. Awesome.
Yes.
And I
Tell
never
the people,
thought
they
I'd
might
come
not know.
across, a stream just of ducks, and you can pay a few bits, and it automatically feeds the ducks, and it's killing it as well. Do you know what I mean? There's people out there that want to watch that for a long time and subscribe, and it's just awesome. Like,
They want to subscribe. They want to change the camera angles. They want to feed the ducks. Like, I mean, it is utterly mind blowing. I'm like, who is this fucking genius
yeah,
that came up with this idea? Like, nobody, like, if anybody had told me, oh, yeah, I'm going to start a stream full of ducks, okay, man, good luck,
yeah, it's not going to work.
Right.
It
Puppy
works.
stream, now, puppy stream fully would work. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, cats and puppies
Without
all day
question.
long.
But fucking ducks, man, it's wild. And you know what? Good on them. Hey, they are doing a lot of work. Like all those camera angles that they have, I don't know, keeping the ducks visible and all of
Yeah,
that. But
absolutely.
it
I think the
is
feeder helps keep the ducks visible all day.
right. They know there's food. Well,
Absolutely.
that's why Nismo hangs out in No Use for Anger's DJ room.
Right.
She knows that the treats are coming.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Same with
but
Decipher and his couple of
yeah.
cats.
Oh, I know. I know. I love his ginger kitty. I can't remember her name, but she is fantastic. Yes, Decipher, you do need to make a cat stream because when you
He's in
had,
here. You big up Decipher, bro.
yeah,
My love. Love of my life.
Khaleesi. Yes, Khaleesi is the ginger
Khaleesi.
one, and she's the wild one, right? Like she's the one that goes outside a lot and kind of doesn't want to come in. Um, but
Once you shake that bag of dreamies, they're there.
yes,
I'm there as well. If it's the cheese ones, that is. Yeah. It's got to be the cheesy ones for me.
So tell me about your streaming setup when you first started. What was it like?
So, when I first started, I think it was just my Technics. Love them. Had these for, I'm not going to say how long because it'll probably give my age away, but so long they're actually rusting, but they still work absolutely fine. So yeah, it was just a couple of those, and it was my lovely Allen and Heath mixer, which is now
Nice.
kind of a secondary. He's a bit poorly, bit gritty. Um, so it was literally just that. Probably these same, if you can see them, yeah, big speakers there,
Uh-huh.
and that was probably be about it. Really
Right.
basic, just music, just vinyl.
Mhm.
And yeah, I guess after a while, trying to keep up with buying vinyl is quite expensive when you don't earn, a considerable amount of money, shall we say? So I think at
Right.
some point I got into Serato, which was the actual box thing, which is gone now. And yeah, and then John again, big up John Artifice, I think his name is on here. He had an idea, which was to screen grab the Serato sort of little time circular thing and superimpose them over the top of here, basically, so that you could see
Oh.
the Serato, and then he put the names of the tracks underneath, and he really worked hard sort of doing that kind of stuff.
Nice.
He also somehow, he's a computer programmer genius, and he managed to kind of almost hack. I think not hack, but he wrote a little program for when I played a tune, it would grab the metadata from Serato, put it through Amazon, and it would tell you the tune that was being played with an Amazon link. And if you clicked that Amazon link and bought that tune, I would have got a little bit of money. Obviously, it didn't really make any money, but the
Right.
thought of it was just absolute genius, and it worked. It was awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of how it started. And then 3 months later, got the job, and it was gone. And by the time I
Yeah.
came back, times had changed. I got Serato and all that kind of stuff, and yeah.
That is a genius idea, though. Once again, I'm going to bitch about Bandcamp. If Bandcamp made it easier to find things, you
Yeah.
could do like a link for every tune into to that Bandcamp page
And
to
get-
buy it.
Yeah,
Wouldn't
absolutely.
that be amazing, Bandcamp?
Yeah, definitely. I love Bandcamp. Big up them as well.
Well, and a good way. Yeah, don't get me wrong, I love them too. I just fucking hate their search. So, like,
Hate
if I
their-
didn't love them, it wouldn't bother me so much.
No.
Um,
I mean, I just like them because more of the money goes to the artist, and that's what it's
Exactly.
all about at the end of the day.
Exactly. Well, and that would be a really cool way to sort of maybe bridge the gap on the DMCA issue,
Yep.
of saying, look, since the dawn of DJs have been promoters of music. They have been advertisers for music. How can we sort of mitigate this DMCA issue by directing money for the tunes that we're playing to the artist?
Exactly.
More than
Back in-
fucking Spotify.
Yeah. Well, back in the day when I was, playing in clubs, I was told it had to be promotional copies, so I was getting the promos in, a couple of weeks before the release, as that's how it kind of worked back then. But I think if you've paid for the music, which obviously we all do,
Right.
if you have a soul, because the artists deserve that money.
Yes.
If you've paid for the music and you're playing it to people, they're more likely to buy the music if they hear it. So,
Right.
like you said, we're promoting it. So I
Right.
don't really see what the
Right.
massive issue is with the DMCA's, but at least Twitch do let you do it live, whereas I think some of the other streaming services might cut you off as soon as you play anything
Facebook and
remotely
YouTube.
commercial or even not commercial.
Yep.
So
Facebook and YouTube will cut you off instantly.
exactly, yeah.
Rude. But
I see why they do it, but
yeah.
do
Yeah. I mean,
agree with
everybody.
it? Probably not.
Yeah. I mean, DMCA, it's all lawyers and like record labels I think as opposed to individual artists. I think most
Yeah.
artists
I don't think
appreciate the
Mr. Bozo's
promotion.
too worried about losing a couple of quid if he gets sued, does he really? He's got a few
Yeah.
few bits there.
So when did you start DJ?
Big up E-Town, love you. See you later.
Oh, hey, E-Town. Oh, yeah. Before we dive into this, let's just say for everybody, tonight in the UK, today for me, Norbski's producer battle features our boy, Bass Fanatic, and our boy, E-Town Junglist going head-to-head mashup of Lunatics. One of you is doing Marky, yes? Or no? Who are you?
Yes,
who are you
E-Town's
guys?
he's doing Marquee, and I'm going to do Break.
Okay,
I
and these are
believe.
producer, right? Like not DJ style, but actual production.
Yeah, so we're showcasing their production in
Nice.
whatever way we feel fit. I would imagine.
Nice.
Hopefully, there's no rules. I was told there's no rules by Norbski, so
Yes.
when I come with my magical bag of tricks and my rabbit in a hat, then
Yes.
don't get upset.
Nice.
E-Town, when I smash you out of the water, bruv. I'm joking.
Love
it's
it.
It's all love. I actually hope he wins. 'Cause I'll feel
Exactly.
bad if I win. Because he's awesome.
No, every one of these I've watched, it has all been beautifully good-natured shit talk, which I love.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it's not. Except there was no shit talk between Decipher and Danny Wav. Those two need to get a fucking room.
I know. I'm
mean,
so jealous. I might have to do away with Danny Wav at some point. So I can get my.
he's coming for your
Okay.
man.
Absolutely.
So, what time is that today? Tonight?
That's at 9:00 in the UK, and
Okay.
I'm really
So
sorry.
3:00 here.
But thank you. I'm not very
Yes.
good with time zones. There's so many. Thank
I
God
have
don't live
had
in
to
Russia.
become, Yeah, I've had to become pretty good at them. Don't ask me about Australia because I don't fucking know. But
No,
like
I've eased
North
up on there.
America and UK, a little bit into Europe, I'm okay.
Excuse me.
Um, so okay, let's go
Oh, big
back.
up Holy
When
Pasty as well.
yeah.
My super mod.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Super mod, and he
Um,
kills the Call of Duty. Without him, we don't win many games. So yeah, big up to you on that one.
love it. Um, uh, okay, so tell me when you started DJing, how you started all of that.
Okay, when did I start DJing? Well, this is a funny one. It's a long story, so I'll probably try and cut it down a little bit for you.
We have an
And
hour and 20 minutes, man. You
oh,
take
do
as
we?
long as you
Okay, and
want.
I think
Yep.
my actual brother, big up Willy Wonka, if you're still here,
Oh,
he's
that's your brother?
he's my brother. Yeah, actual brother. So
Nice.
yeah, big up to you. Uh, so we he's an epic skier basically. He's a pro skier. He's skied for. If he's still here, maybe he can tell you exactly, um, how good he is. But he's done competitions, and he teaches young athletes over in Austria and all around the other skiing places. Um, and being a year and a half younger than him, I was always trying to follow in his footsteps. Like, no offense to you, Will, if you're listening, love you, obviously. But he was always better than me, and he wasn't afraid to let me know. As we were young, and the brotherly thing, I'd obviously, I was the annoying little brother. I'd probably be pinching him, and he'd hit me back, and then I'd blame it on him, and he'd probably get the blame off the parents because he's the older one and all that kind of
Right.
stuff. Anyway, I realised I was never going to be as good as him. In fact, it's not just skiing that he's good at. Any sport, within 2 minutes of trying it, he's pro at it. Basically, he's pro wakeboarder now. I think he's pro. He's done trampolining, and he's also done ballet to a high level. So I'll just chuck that one in there if you want to have a laugh at him.
Ballet.
Ballet, yeah.
What a
Correct
jerk.
me if I'm wrong.
He's
If you're
good at
there,
all
Will.
this stuff. What a jerk.
But you name it, he's an athlete. He's just amazing, and he just picks it up like that. Whereas I have
Awesome.
probably two left feet and struggle. And I always wanted to try and be as good as him, because you do as a young lad. You look up to your older brothers, and you want to be like them, and you want to beat them at the same time, especially if you're the
Right.
younger one. So anyway, long story short, lolly is there. So I kind of decided that I needed to do something that I could be not better at him at, but just find my own thing,
Right.
rather than trying to chase him
Right.
in essence. And so I thought music was going to be my thing. I played a little bit of clarinet when I was younger, because my mum did, and she was like, "Here's my old clarinet. It's got a bit of spit in it, but if you want to have a go, have a go." So I gave it a good clean and give it a blow, and it was fun. But it's not a very great sounding instrument on its own. You need to really be in an orchestra to make it
Right.
to get the most out of it.
Right.
So yeah, I think at some point I think I bought like a Euphoria CD, like a pre-mixed CD, and this is before I even knew what mixing was.
Right.
There was, I think, a couple of songs on there, most likely Zombie Nation by Kernkraft. We've all heard it, surely. And probably Darude Sandstorm, something like that, one of those, big dance tunes. And it was on
Yeah.
this compilation. And so I was listening to the tune, going, oh yeah, there's that cool tune, yeah. Da, da. And suddenly I started hearing a bit of Darude Sandstorm, like, at the same time. And it
Right.
just melted my brain. I was like, wow, wow. And that was
Yes.
it. I just thought, need to find out how this is done. Like, what is this fucking wizardry that I'm hearing, kind of thing.
Mhm.
And yeah, did a bit of research or whatever. Found out that it was mixing. Put two tunes together.
Nice.
Boom! You got a new track almost, in a way.
Yes.
And
Yes.
yeah, so I begged my mother to buy me some turntables, some Newmark TT100s, I believe they were, and an old Gemini mixer. And she obviously said, "Well, no, Lewis, because this is sort of one of your phases. Like you really wanted to get into remote control cars, or you really wanted to do this and that, and look how long it lasted. So you've got to really promise me if you're going to stick at this."
Right.
And I knew in my heart that I was going to stick at this, because it gave me a bit of a rush, hearing those two tunes
Yeah.
together. It was like, wow, I need to do this. So yeah, probably after about 6 months of begging her, she, God bless her, she bought me a little package of these turntables, and so I bought. I'm trying to remember what the first actual vinyl was. It would have been, I think it was the Dre 2001 album potentially, or whether that, again, you're testing my shit's memory right now. But I think I bought that. I probably bought something like Paffendorf Be Cool, like a housey track. PPK Resurrection, actually, it's up there on the wall. Because basically any vinyl that get warped or get scratched or get messed up at house parties end up on my walls. So as you can see here,
Oh, nice.
it's completely full of
Love it.
actual vinyl, all smashed up and stuck back together with super glue straight onto the wallpaper.
I
'Cause
love
I'm a bit
that.
of a bodger. So
What's a bodger? That's a slang I don't know.
a bodger. So we bodge stuff together. So a bit
Okay.
like this. It's a chest of drawers with some wood bodged onto it, screwed
Yes.
in wherever, bit of paint over the top.
Yep.
You never know unless you see it here, which I've now given out my secrets. But there you go.
This
You can have them
this
for free.
this is another fine example of something I realized very early on from starting streaming, that while streamers reveal much creativity on camera, right, on stream, the real amazing creativity is what they do to make it work. Like, I mean, at one point, I had like a monitor on a tower of shit, and the top one was a box of garbage bags. I mean, you make it
If
work.
it works,
So
If it works,
Exactly.
it works. Make it work.
exactly,
And just don't show on camera any of the shit bits, like my crisp packets and empty beers from like last week. And no, I'm joking. I'm
no,
not joking. It is a
in
statement.
front of the camera is like your curated Instagram, and everything that
Absolutely.
the camera can't see is like
Yep.
real life.
Yep. So I've moved all the crap from here because I need to see this, and you'll
Yeah.
never know.
Yes.
Apart from I just told you.
Yes.
Secrets,
Yeah.
tricks of the trade. It's like you all think I'm drinking coffee right now, but this is actually pure gin.
Hell yes. I actually figured you would be drinking, and I was like, should I day drink with 9 a.m. is like really taking day drinking to a new level. But yeah, let's look at the chat real quick. React says I have his DJ stand behind me. This famous wire rack. I don't know if IKEA sells it. I know the Container Store does. You can get them everywhere now. But that will be my DJ table as well once I get my controller.
Nice.
So, okay, I have to thank Fuka for the raid. I really appreciate that. Tamir, forgive me. I have to thank you for giving the sub to Curly Nan. All the new follows. Oh my gosh, you guys are amazing. Coming up on 500. I can't believe it.
yay.
That is insane. It is insane. But yeah, thanks everybody for being here. If anybody has any specific questions for Base Fanatic, please put them in the chat. I know I saw a couple in here that I wanted to try to come back to. Shoot. Jacob Welsh. Oi, oi, who's this Base Fanatic guy?
Who's Jacob Welsh?
Yeah.
Why were you calling me so
Jacob.
late last night, bro? I was trying to sleep.
Ooh.
It wasn't
Love-
me. It was a group thing. I think I was just the only one that answered. Everyone else is sick to death of the guy. No, joking, Jacob. Love you, dude.
Yeah. Jacob is a hoot. I
As you'll
enjoy
probably
Jacob
imagine, I'm
very
like the
much.
most sarcastic person you'll ever meet. So if you ever think I'm trying to offend you, I'm not, and B, it's because I like you. If I liked you,
Same.
I'd be really nice to you, and that would be weird.
Same.
Because I like most people, regardless
Well,
of.
you tell me, like, is that like a jungle drum and bass thing? Because Adagio, thank you so much for those bits. You're freaking amazing. So like when I started in jungle, The guys, well, first of all, I mean, like being a girl in jungle in 95, you were kind of sticking out anyway, right? And the guys gave me so much shit. And I thought they hated me, which would have been totally fair because I was a complete idiot for jungle. I was constantly bugging them. What's the name of this tune? What's the name of, would you play this? Blah, blah, blah. Right. So excited. It took me ages to figure out that, oh, wait a minute. They give each other shit too. Holy shit. They actually like me. I'm in, which means I have learned as well to give people shit if I like them. And it has gotten me in trouble before. Do you think that's a jungle thing? Genitalia says it might be a British thing.
Never thought that there'd be a correlation between jungle specifically and banter and sarcasm and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But maybe there is. Maybe I was too naive to realise, and maybe that's where it's come from. Maybe I adopted it off Contagious, guy that probably did actually get me into drum and bass. DJ Contagious, big up you. You're probably not listening. He's got better things to do than listen to me drivel on. But yeah, perhaps it stemmed from that. But my mum always told me that sarcasm was the lowest form of wit, which it probably is. And therefore, I probably just thought, screw you, mum. Sorry if you're in here. I don't think you are, which is good. But Will, I'm sure you'll pass it on. So.
Sarcasm can be a weapon. I know I have weaponized it before in the past, but I've moved away from that.
It's got
thankfully.
me into heaps and heaps of trouble before.
Yeah.
Especially when you're sarcastic to your boss, who doesn't appreciate sarcasm.
Yeah.
In the middle of a meeting and you say something sarcastic and get shrugged off, and then you're called in for a little private meeting afterwards. Not a good look. So I tried to keep it down, but I think after a few gins or whatever, or a few beers, it's gonna come out.
Yeah. Well, it looks like from the chat that this is a common thing that everybody everybody hurts the ones they love. So that's good to know. So maybe we won't.
Big up Kyle as well if you're still in the chat, because I gave him a lot of stick, and it's probably because I love him the most.
Aw, yes, love it.
He is also really bad at Call of Duty and lets us down. So.
So, do you play Call of Duty a lot then, like online?
I tried to.
You're hardcore.
Tried to play it. I only really play it with when my friends are online, basically. Either my brother or the Selk crew. Big up Emma as well if you're listening. So I'm kind of when I'm gaming, I'm quite sociable. I wouldn't really sit and play it with random people, if you like.
Right.
And if people aren't talking on the mic, don't really enjoy it that much. So if I'm going to game on my own, I'll play Rocket League. That's my little forte. If I'm going to play on my own and no one else is online and I'm a bit sad, then I'll crack on that on my own.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So speaking of people on the mic and chatting, did you have a mic right away when you started streaming?
Ooh, that's a good question. I'm going to say no, actually, because I remember John Artifice, the guy that made all this happen. The reason I'm here, to be fair, I think he said, "Why don't you get a mic?" And I was probably a bit of a tight hole at the time. I was like, "Oh, that's money. Nah, what do I need that for? Just here to play the music." And I think he probably said, "Well, it's just a bit more engaging if it's not a necessity at all, because you can." If you're playing good music and if you're chatting, I think that's the main thing. As long as you're chatting, it doesn't really matter. As long as you're appreciating that people are, bigging you up or throwing money at you, these weirdos that do that. Then
no, right?
Yeah. I know, right? It makes me feel weird, but there you go.
Yes.
So I think he bought me a cheap Behringer mic, £10 or whatever. Said, yeah, have a go. And I never like the sound of my own voice. If I've ever recorded myself and I listen back. And I'm like, whoa, is that my voice? Yeah, it is my voice. But so I guess I got over that. Maybe the booze helped again. Sassy, nice to see you.
Yes, I know. So good to see her. Speaking of Sassy, I can't ever think of her without thinking of Helma, because that's where I met her. And Helma's back.
Helma's back.
Oh my God.
And he is the sickest DJ.
I will sit and listen to him amazing. All day long. Oh my God.
He's a robot. I rarely see him mess anything up, and I just don't know how he does it, because I mess up 90% of my sets.
Well, and when he told me that he'd only been doing it for like a year and a half
Yeah, yeah,
and he's doing it on 4 decks.
yeah.
What the
I've been
fuck?
I've been doing it for 20 years and I can only handle 2 decks. You know,
Right.
and I still
Right.
can't get that right.
Yeah, he's amazing and his selection is so great and like
Yeah,
uh I mean, he's just a sweetheart and like I'm really excited. It's been really exciting for me to see him as a little young list finding older tunes and like
yeah.
bringing them in too, you know. Like, yes, respect the history, do it.
Absolutely,
Um
yeah. A lot of youngsters are quite close-minded, and they only know about chasing status, or these kind of big guys, should we say now? But yeah, he's
right.
not afraid to go back in time and dig out some absolute gems. So yeah,
Yes.
big up to Helmer.
Yeah, guys, I'm shouting Helma out in the chat. If you are not following him, get up on it. He's amazing, and he doesn't always stream when he's working. And unfortunately, Austria is on hardcore lockdown for like the next 10 days. So he will be streaming a lot during that time period, and I don't know how much he'll be streaming after that. So, man, get it while you can, otherwise you're going to miss out. Um, but so yeah, shoot. So we were talking about a mic, and you so now you're like you're comfortable with it. I'm sure it's
Use
like to me it seems like it would be a lot easier to engage in chat while you're mixing if you had a mic.
This is probably actually more of the reason why I'm verbal diarrhea on the mic, because especially with my slight drinking habit, I cannot type for shit.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, it's easier
Yeah.
for me just to go than on the because I can't spell very well either, so it all just goes to shit. And like my mods and everyone will back me up on that one. I've made some bad mistakes. The other night, after a few, I couldn't even raid out for like 20 minutes because I somehow managed to cancel it, and then I don't know, but it's all good
Hey,
fun. No one shot me.
I've been doing this for 4 months. I still act completely brand new every time it's for a raid. I have not figured out a smooth way to go. Okay, thanks for being here, guys. We're gonna raid into blah blah blah. Have a great week, and just make it look all smooth. I'm like, "Ugh," every time trying to figure it out. Um, yeah. Uh, okay, so what is your favorite thing about streaming?
Favorite thing about streaming, it's the combination. I don't think I could nail it down to one.
Mm-hmm.
It's the well, it's the community's top dog.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. But just the fact you can do it in the comfort of your own home, you can do it with socks on, you can do it with boots on, flip flops,
Mm-hmm.
semi-naked, as long as the little bits are covered over.
Yes.
Yeah, there's just no downside to streaming. So I beg anyone out there that's thinking about it, just give it a go. Feels
Yes.
great, even if you just get a couple of people watching. It's
Yes.
good just to know that there's someone, and they're all around the world. You can't get that in a
Yes.
club. You just get your local people, or a few people that have come from here and there on the bigger nights.
Right.
That you bump into, and you can't
Right.
talk to them whilst you're DJing either.
Right.
Um, so
And you can
it's
go as long as you want. I mean,
exactly, yeah.
like that's
I mean,
amazing
look how good
too.
he's still on his 40th, I believe. I hope he's going to make it to
He
the end.
is.
He is.
No, he still is. I think he's actually finishing at the same time we're finishing today.
Okay.
Otherwise we would be fully rating into him.
Yeah.
Um,
Man, so much respect for him. He's
oh my God.
killing it. He is grafted, and he deserves to be, yeah,
He has
a lot of
almost
love for that.
300 people in there right now.
Yeah,
He has
that doesn't
291
surprise me.
people in, which is incredible to me.
I don't think I've ever said good night to someone twice and good morning
Right?
twice, and they're still there,
Right?
and he's still smiling, and he's still smashing it as well. I'd be tripping balls and flapping every mix, but he's still bang on point. He's a machine,
Yep.
absolute
He
machine.
has he has
I
an
need
hour
a
and
bit
a
of his
half left.
DNA.
Yeah, he has an hour and a half left. So, but I think he might go a little longer than that. He said he might go another half hour, but who knows? Yeah,
I'd be
apparently he
out
did.
there 40 hours dead. I'd be like, I'm not even raiding. Boop.
Yeah, Yeah, I woke up and I got on Instagram real quick to post about today, and El Hornet had put this whole thing about Gouda in his stream, and he had a moment where that he was like filming where Gouda was double dropping Mr. Happy and Tour, and then he mixed Bricks Don't Roll into it, and
Oh.
it was a moment. Apparently, it was a real
I did
it
hear
was a
his
real
little
moment.
story about leaving the club when I think Groove Rider rewound Tour like 5 times in a row, and he was just like, "Nah, fuck this amount," which is fair
Bun
enough. At the end of the
this,
day,
right? Yeah, I mean, some tunes are some tunes are
meant to be played once
well,
or zero.
yeah,
I'm
yeah, or
joking.
need to be sparingly utilized. Um,
See you later,
so,
Fast. Thanks for dropping.
uh, uh, shoot, I lost my train of thought talking about Gouda and how he's amazing. Um, the whole community is amazing. Everybody, like the fact that we're sitting here and we're supposed to be talking about you, but instead you're directing the conversation to talk about somebody else and how amazing they are. I love
Big
that.
up Scam as well. Love you.
Yeah. Yes.
Big up
Scam
all of
Circuit,
you in
all of you
here.
guys. Yeah. VSpec started streaming. Oh, yeah. That was the thing I was going to say. Guys, if you want to start streaming, A, just fucking do it. And B, start now. Like, you don't have to have perfect equipment. You don't have to have a fucking soundstage.
No.
El Hornet started with a camera taped to a broom. I'm
Yep.
not even lying. That was how he
As long as the
started.
audio quality's half decent and you're playing
Yes.
good music, you're gonna get
Yes.
people interested.
Yes. Yes. And if you're afraid, be afraid and do it anyway.
Yeah.
Honestly, the thing that you're afraid of, the thing that I was most afraid of happened. And guess what? Wasn't a big deal. It turns out it didn't bother me a bit. So, awesome. Just fucking do it. It
I get nervous
like,
every time before I start that first record. In fact, halfway through the
yeah,
record, I'm like, oh, it's not till I've played a couple, and I'm like, and then obviously the gin kicks in, and then I'm like,
right.
let's go.
Well, and oddly, you realize you're among friends. You know what I mean? Like, it's
Absolutely, yeah.
weird. It's weird to be on the internet, but be in a friendly space. And I mean, obviously, some dickhead can come in, but generally,
Oh,
your
you
friends
just get
outnumber the,
past it to go.
yeah, generally your friends outnumber the dickheads. So it's really not anything to worry about.
Absolutely, yeah.
Um, yeah. Um,
Yeah, the community's so tight. As soon as there's a bit of trouble in there, that they're
yep.
out anyway.
Yep.
You
Yep.
can't be a nasty piece of work in this community. You get seen straight away. So
Well, and the other good thing is like this is your house. Like your stream is your house, right? So you get to make the rules. Like
absolutely,
I had somebody come in, I didn't like the very first thing they said. I banned them. Period. I didn't make a big deal about it. I didn't say anything because they didn't deserve to have any of that. Boom, banned. Done. Because it's my house. I can do whatever I want.
yeah,
I mean, within the terms of service. But yeah, people don't realize that like there's nothing to be scared of because you have the power in this place.
yeah.
And
I mean,
there you
depending on
go.
what they say, I believe everyone, well, not everyone, but most people probably deserve a second chance because we all do make mistakes.
Yeah.
I've been drunk and said
Yeah.
the wrong things to people before, and in the morning
Yeah.
I've apologised and they've gone, don't worry about
Yeah.
it. But
Yeah.
repeat offenders,
Oh
not a
yeah.
chance, not a
This was
chance.
like full on straight like going in attack right
Oh
from the
yeah, no
beginning.
second chances for that.
No,
Not a
none.
chance, no.
And I even have it set up where if someone bans, they can, send me something to appeal it.
Yeah.
Well, when the appeal is fuck you, yeah. No, actually, fuck you. You're already off my stream. Like
Absolutely. I don't know why there's still trolley haters out there, to be fair. It's just, they must have sad little lives, and this is the only way they can get a kick, is to say something,
Yes.
look at your face, see it change, and they're like, yes,
right.
I'm
Exactly.
great. But they don't feel
Exactly.
great when they get blocked, and now they've got no one to talk to, so
Yeah.
to all the haters out there,
Yep.
fuck you.
Well,
Same.
and that's really the best way to handle. I mean, I've seen like clips of, like gamers and stuff that are fucking amazing and can just, come back with like some quick wit thing and like, for me, I just don't want to feed it at all. So
No,
like
that's the
my
best way.
favorite thing is to have literally no reaction except a ban. And that's it. But, And yes, as Scam Circuit said, there are a lot of very sad people out there. And
Yeah.
but that's one of the reasons I really like what we're doing here and like what this community does, because I know that I have talked to people that were not having the greatest day. And this is a real opportunity to like come into a space that like helps you redirect, you know. So let me ask you this. You mentioned before, like, that, now you're on a schedule, right? And there's a little bit of pressure and you have to be in the right mind frame and blah, blah, blah. Like Tuesday, I had a shit day and I was like kind of about coming on, but being on like completely turned it around for me. Have
Yeah.
you found streaming to be therapeutic, and like in what way?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I mean, I've had a few. In fact, on the second one that I was meant to stream, I drank a little bit too much the night before, which
Hmm.
is I wouldn't recommend doing that because trying to get any kind of motivation after a certain amount of booze, it's not going to happen. Um, but I mean, yeah, once you get up there and you start doing it, you almost it can lift anything. If you're feeling a bit down, it can lift it. As soon as you've got a few people that go, oh hi, yeah, good to see you, boom, hangover's gone, you know, loneliness gone, all of that kind of
Hmm.
stuff. So yeah,
Hmm.
it's really amazing.
Yeah. Well, and for you, like you're interacting and engaging with the music as well. And uh, music is like the best drug out there, the best antidepressant out there,
100%.
you know, all of that. And yeah, when you're lucky enough to have a whole community around you that are crazy for the same music you are too.
Yep.
I mean, it's
Yep, I didn't
choice.
realise that so many people around the world would like drum and bass. Obviously, when when we first got into it, it was quite an underground
Hmm.
thing, even in the UK.
Hmm.
And now you're getting people from anywhere you can think of. Even
Right.
small places that you think, how have they even got internet or whatever, and they're saying, oh yeah, I've been into drum and bass for years, and people buying vinyl, shipping it around the world. It's just,
Hmm.
it's crazy. I know, if you ask me this question, how big do you think drum and bass would get in the next 20 years? I'd say it's probably going to die a death. It's too fast, it's hard hitting stuff, blah 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 blah. But no, it's done nothing but sort of, yeah, just go further and further, and getting into Radio One, getting commercialized. I have no problem with that. Some people are like, oh, it was good when it was underground, but
Right.
commercialize something, more people are going to hear it. More people are going to want to
Hmm.
get involved in the less known stuff and the grittier stuff, and all that kind
Yeah.
of business. So yeah, it's just amazing. Just happy to be part of it, and happy to have chosen it as my favorite sort of genre to follow and live and
Yes.
breathe. Because it's once you get that bug,
Hmm.
you're gonna need it. It's like
Oh
a drug,
God.
like you said. You're gonna need it daily.
Hmm. Yes. I
You need to get
mean,
up in the morning, put some drum and bass on.
yep.
You need to
Yeah.
win a race in a car, put some drum and bass on. You're gonna get a speeding ticket, but
Need to clean the house, put some drum and bass on.
exactly,
Like
makes
all of
everything
it.
better.
Yes, agreed. So did you know how worldwide drum and bass was, or was that a surprise too?
What's that, recently, or sort
Well,
of?
yeah, like was Twitch did Twitch sort of reveal to you more like the
It
sort of
totally opened
global
my eyes.
nature?
Absolutely. When you get a follow from someone and you say, "Oh, where are you from?" and they're like, "Oh, the Philippines," or they're from, I mean, some places, Russia and other places that kind of got involved in drum and bass quite early on.
Right.
You're not so surprised, but these little, some countries you barely even heard of. You just like how we managed to get this underground music from the UK to the world, and they're receiving it
Yes.
well and not going, oh, it's a bit weird or whatever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's just amazing.
I am shocked at how dominant North America is in the Twitch D&B
Okay, yeah.
scene. It's that's shocking to me. Like, whoa, what a role reversal. But yeah, it's been amazing. Yes, Space Colony, the strong Canada scene was surprising indeed. And those guys are tight and talented and incredible. Okay, I apparently have had too much coffee, so I'm gonna step away really quick.
No, no worries.
Let me see what guys, ask him a question in the chat,
Yeah, I
but
can see the
I'm
chat
gonna
too.
yeah, I'm gonna ask you one that came up in there. Pineapple on pizza. What are your thoughts?
I'm so into pineapple on pizza. Absolutely. And anyone that disagrees with me can knock on my door and I'm ready for you. No, 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 V-Spec. What do you guys think? Yes, yes, yes. Anchovies. Get out. Fish on pizza. Tuna and anchovies I'm not a fan of. Pineapple, no. I mean, it's sweet, and it just kind of goes with the cheese. No Pepsi. Pineapple's allowed. Yeah. And if you disagree with Pasty, he will ban you from life itself. No! Alright, I no longer like pineapple, actually, on pizza. I've just decided. Please don't do this to me, Decipher. My bro. Chicken and red onions? Yes, absolutely. Let's go. Oh gosh. You sound I'm scared. How are you still awake? You were streaming earlier and you're going to be streaming later. Do you even sleep? You're another one of these blooming robotoid guys that can just do with a half an hour power nap on your sofa. Crazy. He doesn't. Oh, it is Easter. I hope you got loads of chocolate and eggs, people. I'm not a massive fan of chocolate. I don't have a very sweet tooth until it comes to pineapple, and then I'll munch a whole pineapple, no problem.
Whoops,
Three
I
and a
meant
half
to add
hours.
myself.
That's quite good for you. That's a long time. Gosh.
So did I hear a bit of a lover spat here that there was a disagreement between you and Decipher on the pineapple
Yeah, no. When
issue?
I thought about it actually whilst I was talking about it, and then I realised, yeah, it's not a thing. Shouldn't be a thing.
Ugh,
I don't know what I'll
God.
do if I lose you, Decipher.
I can't decide if I enjoy the idea of compromise, to save your relationship, or if it just,
Yeah,
it's
you're
like,
right. Fuck you, Decipher. Pineapple does belong on a pizza.
if you really love him, let him enjoy pineapple on pizza. Sweet
Exactly.
and savory. It's a thing. It's
It
a
is a
lovely thing. Okay, so the battle. E-Town is doing Marky. You are doing Break.
I'm doing Break. Yep.
Why did you choose Break?
Break. He's localish to me. He's obviously a wicked producer. Wouldn't say he's my favourite because I don't think this was about choosing your favourite producer, because I couldn't choose my favourite one. There's so many out there. If I really wanted to smash his head in, I'd choose like Noisier or something like that he just wouldn't be able to beat. So I thought I'd go easy and go for someone a little bit. I'm not saying that they're not on par, but anyway, yeah, he's my boy. He's a wicked mastering engineer as well. He's now mastering for my mate's thing. So it just seemed right. And
Nice.
his styles, it's not just one style he does, as you'll see
Mhm.
later on if you tune in on
Yes.
Norbsky's show. He does liquids to jump up almost, and everything in between. He's done
Nice.
hip hop, he's done breaks. I probably won't be playing any of that stuff, although I wanted to. I'm going to just keep it strictly drum and bass, as I think we should.
Yes.
But yeah, so that's why I chose him. Also, I presumed there was a bit of a time limit, so
hmm
I think the day after I was asked to do it, I had to think, and I was thinking, stuck with Break, because he's reasonably local as well, and then E-Town went and took about 3.5 years to choose Marky, because he he obviously shat himself and thought I've really got to come in hard with another top
Yes.
boy. So
Yes.
big up to you for choosing Marky, because he's another absolute legend.
Oh my God,
Obviously,
right? And another guy on Twitch. Like, and he's
another guy
back
on
on
Twitch.
Twitch after he had to take a break, which is it's really nice to have it back.
And he's
Um,
just a happy, smiley guy. And when you watch his inspiration shows, he's been into all the funk and soul that I used to love. And
yes.
you
Yes.
know, if I could go back in time, I would probably have chosen Marky first. But no, I'm joking. I'm sticking with my break. It's all good.
Yes. Okay, so that brings up a good question. So obviously Marky, right? Like super positive guy, like just I mean, he is literally in any space the one that's having the most fun,
Yeah.
which is totally contagious. Are there any other DJs like that for you where you feel like the sort of this vibe that they exude is like a huge part of their appeal and their draw?
Whoa,
And
that's a
they
good
can be
question.
Twitch DJs, they don't have to be big name DJs.
Yeah, well, there's most of the Twitch DJs all have their own little things that I love, and yeah, I'm drawn to far too many of them, to be honest, to actually have my own life. I think I spent most of my life on Twitch, especially during the pandemic, because there's just so much quality music and quality personalities and people out there, you know. And like we were saying earlier,
Yes.
you feel like you're engaged with them. You feel like you're in the same room. Like just
Yes.
now, it's you could pretty much be sat opposite me. Um,
Yes.
so yeah,
Yes.
but
That's what I love about doing this. It's like we're in the same room chatting, except I'm looking at my camera instead of my screen so that it looks like I'm looking at you.
yeah, I'm sorry about that. I could sit
No,
here
you
and look at there, but I
no,
feel a
you
bit.
look where you look where you want to look. This is I'm the one who's doing all the work here, okay? Like
Okay.
you just come and talk about yourself. That's all we need. That's all we want. Um
But yeah,
so
to be fair, actually, Marky probably would be one of my favourites to watch. You know, he's smiling, he's bouncing, he's technically wicked. He produces his own stuff, and he picks up the fucking turntables and puts them on his head and scratches with them sometimes. That
have have you seen the
mind
video of him scratching with a shoe?
with a
A
shoe. I don't think
fucking
I've seen.
shoe.
I might
Yeah,
have
like
done.
he's got the deck up and it's turned on its side and he's scratching with a shoe.
I'm
The man
scared
is
to
a
even
machine.
attempt that with. I didn't know it was a thing. I thought
Yeah.
gravity existed, but clearly it doesn't in Marky's world.
Yeah, I mean, he has some kind of mechanism, I guess, to hold the tone arm in place. But like, you're right about
Ah,
the bouncing, though. He bounces so much that I'm like, how is that laptop not falling off of that thing?
yeah,
Like,
yeah. You
it's
want some big old concrete slabs under those, definitely.
yes, yes. Now, you tend to bounce a lot when you really are feeling it. Have you
Some
had
might say.
any bounce related mishaps before on stream?
Um, you'd have to ask the viewers. I'm well unaware of anything. I'm pissed out my mind most of the time. So no.
Um,
I mean, yeah, there's been a few times when you're working with vinyl and booze. As anyone will know, it only takes a little accidental movement to cross the thing.
yes.
Which is kind of one reason I probably should actually get some CDJs, because it's a little bit harder to mess up. I mean, you can still mess up, but you're more like just slow it down a bit or loop
Right.
something by accident than actually kill it with and damage your vinyl and needles.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
So are you these days almost exclusively using control vinyl or do you play your other vinyl as well?
I played a little vinyl set the other week,
Hmm.
and in fact, I'm currently going through putting everything onto Discogs. So I think I've
Nice.
got about 170 or something so far out of my collection of possibly 500. Not sure. Obviously, it's a
Wow.
long process.
Yes, it is.
But I can't wait to get it all done, because then you can probably drop a little link and say maybe redeem a point or something, and you can
Hmm.
shout out the number, and I'll whack it on for you. But
Yeah.
a lot of it's very battered and used. Back in
Yeah.
the day, clubbing and
Hmm.
house parties. Can I have a go on your decks? Yeah, no
Hmm.
problem. Before you know it, you wake up and everything's in a different sleeve. There's playing a tune and suddenly it's got a massive. Oh, how did that happen? When? Like why? Ugh. But
You know what, Ben Proper Buys, by the way, guys, if you're not following Ben, you really should. Proper Chicago does an amazing job streaming on Twitch. They do all kinds of different things, but he was just mentioning phase, which actually phase is really cool. Phase eliminates the need for needle and tone arm. It's like a, I don't know all the tech, but it's like a little thing. Marky uses it. It's
little
like a little thing
Bluetooth,
that goes on top of it, and so its motion, I guess, controls the stop start
yeah,
and all
those
of
things are
that.
amazing.
So
I
yeah,
did
then you
really, when they first came out, I kind of thought this ain't gonna work. You know what I mean? Bluetooth,
yeah,
latency, all that kind of
yeah,
crap. Probably battery power. If you're gonna do a 40-hour set, I don't know how long it's gonna work,
right.
um, but yeah, I think the second version came out. They reduced the latency to pretty much unnoticeable.
Hmm.
So yeah, and you can just get the thing and do, you can pick up the vinyl and just do that with the
Hmm.
vinyl. I think Marky's done this as well. You
Yeah,
scratch with it, just pick up the vinyl with the thing on and just go. Oh, excuse my headset.
yeah, yeah,
It's just, yeah, technology
yeah.
has just come so far.
It's
Like I was saying earlier,
incredible.
I've got the Serato thing, and now they've built that into our things, eliminating the need for another box and more wires and all that kind
Right,
of kerfuffle.
right.
So,
Yeah,
as you know,
it's
that
amazing.
the more stuff you
I
have, the
can't.
more likely it's going to go wrong. So,
Yeah. Well, I can't believe that I can get a controller for like $250, like a nice controller, and that includes the software.
yeah,
Like, it's
absolutely.
amazing. I can't wait. I can't wait to get my new computer built so I can get the controller.
What are you thinking?
Um, uh,
Well,
I'm so torn.
Pioneer.
Right now, right now my first choice is the DDJ 400, just because the price is low. It's an opportunity for me to kind of figure out, do I even like, you know,
That's, yeah, good shout.
digitally DJing? Will I is it something that I'm really going to want to stick with, or am I going to want to rather focus on other things? So it
Yeah,
seems like a good start. But, you know, uh my laptop is only like just at the bare minimum of system requirements, so I don't know how well it will perform with it.
right.
Um, so of course, like the Denon Prime, like I think the 1000, uh, that one is attractive
Oh, it's
because
got
it's
built-in.
contained. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, because you don't need the
yeah.
laptop.
Again,
So
I'd rate anything that's all in one. The
yeah,
more wires and links you've got, the more chance there
yeah,
is for something
yeah.
to bugger up.
Yeah, the only thing that I heard somebody say on the flip side, like you're right, and then on the flip side is, well, it's all in one, and if one thing breaks,
Yeah, yeah. If you pull
you're
the power
fucked.
cord out, it's good. It's dead.
Well, or like let's say you have a three, a CDJ setup. If one of them breaks, you still have two, and you only have to replace
Yeah,
the
that's true.
one. Whereas, if you're two, whoops, if you're two, decks, or four on Gouda's on the Prime 4, if you're one of your four decks breaks, or the mixer part breaks, or the interface, between your like external drive or whatever, if any of that breaks, the whole thing is useless.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I'm
with
torn,
technology,
but
something is going to break at some point. It's inevitable.
exactly, exactly. So I don't know. We'll see. It's worth. I'm thinking $250 is probably not a bad risk to take, and if I decide to upgrade, I can probably sell the DDJ 400 without a problem.
Yeah.
So
Well, the amazing thing is 250 quid when I started would
yeah,
get you one turntable or, you know.
yeah. 200. I think 250. I might have even paid 300 for my first 1200, and it was used.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they hold their value for a
oh
reason.
god, and well, because they're fucking tanks, man.
They are
Like
tanks.
they're amazing. But yeah, it is amazing, the technology, the accessibility that it has created for
Yeah,
people.
that's
Like
the key word there.
yeah,
Letting people that aren't as fortunate to be able to spend that kind of money on equipment can
yeah,
still have a go and just try it on something cheap. And
yep,
if they want to
yep,
in the future upgrade,
Well, and not having to have the space and, the easy access of digital music and, all of that. I mean, if you know anyone that collects vinyl, you know how expensive it is and how
Yep.
hard it can be to find things.
And
So,
heavy as
yeah.
well once you get enough of it.
And
Got to
and
reinforce your shelves.
the space that it requires. I
Yep.
mean, like if I had to have turntables and a mixer and vinyl to get back into DJing, I would never get back into DJing. I just wouldn't, like, as much as I want to do it, I have other priorities for my finances. And also, like, I know, like, No Use for Anger, for example, loves the hunt for vinyl, right? For me, no way. It would drive me insane. I couldn't do it.
Right. Yeah, that
But
that used to be my favourite thing. I think back in the day, going into
yeah.
Chemical Records, big up Chemical Records in Cheltenham, no longer there. Still going in Bristol though, I think.
Hmm.
But yeah, there was something about it back in the day, flicking through, you
Oh,
getting to play it on their thing and going, yeah, I'm going to buy that one, or buying one
yes.
because you just like the art. The tune's a bit shit, but it's wicked artwork. I do miss all that kind of stuff, but I don't miss the £6 or £7, per vinyl, which
Oh
you could
God,
easily break just with one drunken stupid move.
6 or 7 pounds. Okay, try having it imported, and literally 12.99 was like just about the cheapest I could get a 12 inch
Oh wow,
for. So
wow,
what,
yeah.
12.99 US is at least like 10 pounds. Um, and
This all gets pressed over here, so it would have to be.
yeah, it's all well, back then at least it was all imported.
Yeah,
Everything was coming out of the UK. But I, like, back then when the only thing you had was vinyl, oh man, I loved New Record Day. Like, I think for us it was like Tuesday
yeah,
that the shipments would come in. And I loved that it was like a race between the few jungle DJs here to get there first because there weren't going to be enough copies for
yeah,
everybody to have everything. And then when they started letting me order from their order sheet, I loved that day when they would get the new order sheet. It was a bit of a gamble. Sometimes I didn't necessarily pick winners, but it that was exciting for sure. It's just
yeah.
now with the shipping and all of that, no, no, couldn't do it. Yeah, Bento. Let me buy this $18 record and pay $40 shipping for two songs, only one of which I like. That is the reality of collecting vinyl today.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, and then wait for the shipping. Also fun. You have
Oh,
an
that's true.
advantage there in the UK
I
because
did,
so
yeah,
much of it
and
is
I was
there. Yeah.
so blessed to again Contagious when he sorted me out with the promo, getting me on the
Mhm.
promo list, because then I was getting it
Yes.
a little bit before everyone else, and that was quite a highlight, really.
Yeah. Okay, so I can't believe we haven't talked about this yet. So we talked about the little CD that you found that blew your mind because you finally understood that people mixed.
Yep.
When did you hear jungle drum and bass? And yeah, and what was it that you heard?
I know this one because I thought about it the other week when he first asked me to do it. So I couldn't quite work out how old I was. I
Hmm.
think it was about 90. I think 97 kind of rings a bell. I'd have to I'd
Hmm.
have to look it up. But as a chap, a British guy, a musician called Jules Holland. I don't know if you've heard of him.
I don't think I have.
Amazing pianist. He used to do sort of a late night show where he'd get any style of music come in. He'd have his band playing. He'd play the piano along and rah 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 rah. Anyway, I was staying up a little bit past my bedtime. Probably wasn't allowed. Mum will probably kill me if she hears this. But yeah, so Jules Holland was on, and in comes along Ronnie Size and Dynamite MC onto the stage, and a double bassist, boom boom, and played Brown Paper Bag, and I was just like, I think I was
Done.
about 11, 12. Parents have always listened to classical music. My mum never let my dad listen to the rock that he used to love, so I was kind of just classical or nothing, or pop on the radio, because that's all we kind of had, and wasn't really into it apart from Barbie Girl, banging tune. And yeah, so I heard this guy, bending this thing, and the drums were fast, and I was like, energy music. What is this?
Hmm.
Yeah, so that was the first time I heard drum and bass. Didn't know it was called drum and bass. Didn't know anything about it. I just knew that it was fast, and I liked the way he was bending this note, so it's like detuned, and it just
Yeah.
sounded different to the the Bach and the Mozart and the kind of stuff that I'd been not forced into listening to, but was generally what
Yes.
was in the car on long journeys and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, and then so that's my first memory of really thinking, what is this? This is cool. This is different. This is vibey and energetic and amazing.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
So yeah, that was my first taste of drum and bass, I think. And then it would have
That's a
been
good start.
couple of years later would have been when I bought that mix.
Mhm.
And obviously I didn't really understand still tempos and stuff, so I
Mhm.
bought the Dre album, and I bought this PPK Resurrection, and I was trying to mangle these things and play them at the same time, and it wasn't working, and I was like, what the how do these people do this stuff? Yeah, and it wasn't until I guess I bought a few house records maybe that with a similar tempo, and realised, and it clicked. That's how you do it. You need to almost visualize it in your mind and get these beats lining up. Yeah.
So,
And then,
were you figuring this all out by yourself
absolutely,
then?
yeah.
Wow.
I had
And
no one else to tell me what it was, how to do it. There was no YouTube, nothing like that
right.
back then. I don't really like reading, so there may have been a book, but I've never been a manual kind of guy. Read the fucking manual. That's never been my thing. It's just been pick it up, press. What does that do? Same with production. Never really
Mhm.
learned or got taught. Never had YouTube, so it was just it makes that sound. Oh, okay, that changes that. Just working it out. And to be
Yep.
fair, I enjoyed it because it's more, I don't know, you're just finding things out. It takes a hell of a lot longer, but
Yes.
it's plenty of
But
time in
learn
the
by
world.
doing. I mean, you know, it's a cool approach.
Absolutely.
So, when was the first time then that you heard jungle or drum and bass like
And knew about
live?
it.
Pardon me?
Live.
Well, like in a
Uh,
live setting, like at a club or,
First time probably would have been when I was about 16, maybe late 16. I've always looked quite young, as you've pointed out
Yes.
before.
Yes. Yes.
So you can imagine at 16, I looked about 13. And again, big up to DJ Contagious. He smuggled me into his nights, basics, they were called. Smuggled me in as a helper outer, carrying the speakers in, probably to like hide my face so I could get past the bouncers. Plug it all in, they turn the lights off. Suddenly I wasn't looking like a 12-year-old boy, I was just looking like a dark shadow, if you like, just like
Yes.
everyone else, with a big gurning mess on.
The dark
yeah,
stranger.
Hmm?
The dark stranger.
Exactly. So yeah, that would have been my first time hearing it live and loud. When you hear,
Yes.
and that's when you really realise what drum and bass is about. It's about that low end sub, that rumble. It shakes you half to death, and
Yes.
gives you a buzz without drugs.
Yes.
So that would have been the first time I heard it live. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I enjoyed it before I heard it like in like a live, environment, but that first jungle party, it was over. That was
Yeah,
it. It was life was never the same after that.
yeah.
And
It's mind
it
blowing. Really is.
yeah.
It's
I
a
like
feeling more than a
lots of
hearing as
music.
well. Definitely.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like it's just a vibe, man. It's just a vibe. So you were talking about producing, and like I put a link. I put a link to your SoundCloud up in here. But do you want to talk to us a little bit about
No.
producing and
Yeah, I can. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
So basically tinkering around for 15 years. Started on a program called Fruity Loops way back.
Yes.
Got the demo, liked it because it looked like a toy. All the icons were big and colourful, and I think I must have been probably similar sort of age, 16. And yeah, just, again, poking around. What does this do? What does that do? Blah, 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 blah. Um, yeah, and then I've met a few people over the years that have done a bit of production and swayed me towards their programs. Logic is the best. You need to get a Mac. You need to get Logic. Blah blah blah. I tried Cubase. In fact, way back, the first time I started sequencing was on a program called Cakewalk, which was so basic. It only had 174 MIDI sounds that you could use. Now imagine trying to make a decent sounding drum and bass track out of 174 sounds, where your horns just sound like nothing like a horn, So yeah, that's probably where it actually started. And then long time down the road, met a guy whose DJ name at the time was Coordinate, and he'd made some sick tunes with Pesce. And he started work where I worked, where I was repairing computers and projectors and all that kind of stuff. He started working there. He actually came over to me. I was training him to fix a projector, which he was going to be doing on site in London, because he was a London-based guy. And he came over and I had a bit of drum and bass on, and he was like, "Oh, you into drum and bass?" I was like, yeah, I like drum and bass. And he was like, "Oh, yeah, I used to like it. I used to make it, but I fell out kind of with the drum and bass scene and blah blah blah." And I was thinking, is this guy like for real, or is he just like, because you do get some people that are like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah," and then you ask them a question and they're like, but no, he was like, "Yeah, you heard of a guy called Pesce?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, I made a tune with him," and I was a bit like, I don't want to like say that the guy's lying because he seems so genuine. Anyway,
Right.
he was not lying, yeah, and so I invited him around my house, or around my mum's house, I think that week, and he said, "I use Ableton. If you want to get Ableton, I can show you around that." And so we did. We sat down and we remixed the Prodigy tune, Break and Enter,
Nice.
which
Nice.
it probably is somewhere. I'd have to dig it out. I don't think we ever finished it because he was only there for, I think, 4 weeks training or something, and he didn't obviously come over every night. So we sat down and made this tune together, and
Nice.
and yeah, then I've just been Ableton ever since. I've never looked back. So
Do you
yeah, big up
remember?
to Coordinate as well for spurring me on to get Ableton.
Do you remember Acid? Did you ever use Acid? That was what I started
Sony.
on.
Yeah, Sony Acid Pro.
Yep.
Yeah. Had a
Yep.
little tinker with that, but
Yep.
again, didn't grab me like
Yeah. It was
as
all I
much.
had. I didn't even
Right.
know there was other stuff. So
I've used a free Audacity to try and do a little bit way back in the day. Audacity
Yep.
probably #1 or something, and it was so
Yeah.
basic, but it had a few little effects, a few filters and
Yep.
reverb and all this kind of stuff,
Yep.
and a few tracks that you could have. So it was, you can use whatever tool you like, and you can get
Yeah.
something out of it. So I'm not one to
Exactly.
say you all need to use Ableton. They're all great, and they all sound great, and they all have their own little pluses and minuses.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Okay. Ellis had a good question from Amen Theory Records. What is your favorite drum break?
amen.
Amen.
Of
All
course.
right.
The Winstons,
Cool.
big up the Winstons.
Yes.
Shame they didn't get so many royalties, as it's been used in pretty
Right.
much hip
For everything.
everything. So yeah, big up to the
Yeah.
Winstons on that break.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
gonna
probably
call the think
everyone's
break.
favorite break.
Nope. Think break for me.
Big break.
Think break.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Although it's not fair. Well, I guess when you say think break, everyone thinks of the one with the little vocalization in it, but there's like 4 or 5 really great classic breaks on that record. Um, but yeah, but I mean, the Amen is
Any break,
classic.
in a beat is right up my street. Although
Yes.
although I said I started off hearing the first mix of housey stuff, 4/4, dum dum dum, which is great. It's cool, and I love it still. But the moment you hear a few breaks in it, it just makes it more interesting, and it can go each way. And with jungle especially, and the snares, if you can't guess where they're going to go, to me it's an interesting tune, really interesting. And I'm not
Yes.
saying that it's not interesting if it's just a standard drum and bass beat, because it's about all the other elements. But yeah, if we're talking beats and breaks, yeah, it's got to
Yeah.
have some
Well,
movement in it for me.
I just love syncopation, where the the snare doesn't always hit on the two and the four.
Absolutely.
Sometimes it's like three and a half, or something like that. So yeah, there's just so much energy in a broken beat, and yeah, in
Absolutely.
jungle especially, you can just go insane, which is
Yep.
probably why I like making it.
Yep.
Because I can
It's
be
exactly why
absurd.
it's my favorite genre, for sure.
Yeah, yeah, and I don't have to mix it. Like I can make it as crazy as I
Yep.
want, and go have fun.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Good luck.
Brilliant.
So I guess right now, like who are you sort of rating as like producers right now? Like when you're looking to buy new
Mephius
music,
or Mephius.
Memphis.
He's, yeah, I love Neuro. I love his
It's
sound. He's disgusting
MEIFJUS.
and amazing. Sorry,
His MEIFJUS. Is that how you spell it?
MEFJUS. Yeah, Mephius.
MEFJUS. Okay.
I
Yeah.
presume it's Mephius. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I'm not very good at pronouncing. I can't even spell my own fucking name, to be honest with you. So I must spell it with a fucking K for God's sake. Do you know what I mean?
Hey man, whatever works. Whatever works. Um. So neuro is your jam then.
Uh, Drum and bass is my jam, but yeah, Neuro. There's just some energy and the high end and the fact you can pitch a snare up to its fucking out of this world and still sound great is yeah it's probably one of my top subgenres out of the 50,000,229 subgenres within drum
Oh
and
my
bass.
god.
So,
Yeah. Gouda went on a little he went on a little tear about that when I was listening this morning. It was
I do.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It can make for fun discussion at least though, the absurdity of how many different subgenres there are, or people say they are, or
Yeah.
whatever. Fucking labels, man. Only useful to make sure we're all talking about the same thing. And then,
Exactly.
beyond that, who fucking cares, right?
Yeah. If it's good,
Um,
it's good. There's
yeah.
jump up music out there I don't like. There's jump up music out there I fucking love.
Hmm.
It's same with Neuro, same with Liquid, same with everything. It's either
Yeah.
I like it or I don't. It
Right.
doesn't matter what subgenre it is. It's either
Hmm.
good to me or not so good.
Yep.
But there's
Well,
there's
and
not a lot of rubbish drum and bass out there really that I wouldn't sit and listen to. So
yeah. Well, and having so many different flavors that are all really sort of established and prominent right now, it just makes it so much more inclusive. Like there's so much more possibility for people to find something they like and get into the scene and get excited about it.
yeah,
And I love that. That makes me happy. Even if it's music, even if it's a flavor that I don't particularly enjoy, I just love new people coming in
yeah,
and new people finding it. And yeah, that's mass appeal is fantastic. Grow it big. I
100%.
want the whole world going crazy for it.
Absolutely. Big up
Yeah.
Novsky in the chat as well.
Yes, yes. So glad Normsky
Wildcat.
is here.
PC.
Yeah, oh yeah, PC is here too.
Loads of the Dons all locked in.
Yeah,
It's good to
I
see.
know. Loads of these UK people in. I really should have started having guests on Saturdays from the beginning, but the thought of doing two was really overwhelming to me at the time.
Yeah.
But I
Well,
love
big
that
ups
I'm
for you
doing
getting
it.
up at what 7, 8 o'clock probably earlier this
No,
morning.
I was up at 5. So
Gosh.
yeah, well, I hadn't done everything that I needed to do to prep and, fixing the hair and, like I can't, well, I could. Uh, you know, it's there's less judgment for a male streamer to come on in a t-shirt and a baseball cap and not have done anything else to their appearance than it is for a woman to do the
Right.
same thing.
Yeah.
So
Well, you're
yeah,
lucky
I
to see
take
me without my cap today. To be fair, with this monstrosity
yes,
of I need a haircut. I'm in lockdown situation, isn't it? So
it's a whole thing.
I shaved the whole
It,
lot off a month ago because I knew I probably wouldn't see anyone. And it's
yeah,
bloody growing back twice as fast.
yeah. VSpec, what do you mean host a Zoom and just stream it? I think what you're talking about is maybe like something like Billy Lane does, 916 Junglist does with his sort of like
DJs.
DJs not DJing. I would love to do that once I have the new PC and can use OBS for StreamYard. I mean, with StreamYard, honestly, I can have 10 people in here. So theoretically I could do it. Who knows? For my birthday, maybe I will do it. But like I am honestly in awe of 916 Junglist having like 6, 8 other people there with him, trying to like wrangle that and keep the conversation on topic sort of, and all of that. Like that's a skill. That's an impressive skill. So yeah. Oh, but if I mute people who I don't want to talk, then they know I don't want them to talk, and I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. Forget that. Okay, so we have about 15 minutes left. Is there anything
Gosh,
going
it's
on with
flown
you?
by.
I know, right? It's been really fun.
Yeah, I thought it's.
Okay, so for those who weren't here at the beginning or when we talked about it, tell everybody about the DJ battle at 9 p.m. GMT tonight.
9 p.m. Myself versus E-Town Junglist, Clint, Celsius, aka Ernie MC, aka Recorder Pro, aka probably doesn't have an AKA, an AK-47 because he's too nice. But yeah, man of many names, beautiful guy, legendary status. He's been doing it I think since '93, so he's got a year or two on me.
You got a year on two on me. That's impressive.
You got so much love for the guy. Anyway, yeah, we're going to be doing a 30-minute battle of a producer of our choice. So 30 minutes to show off their music in whichever way we like, apparently. Because I've got some tricks up my sleeve to try and beat the guy, because I'm scared. I'm not gonna lie, I'm fucking shitting it. Yeah, so this is on Norbski's channel. So yeah, there she is in the chat. I see. Give her a follow, and you'll get a notification for that. I believe we'll have a little chat, a little bit of banter, possibly a scrap. Not too sure. We'll see. And then yeah, we'll show off our chosen producers. I've chosen Break, and he's chosen DJ Markey. And that's about it, really. I guess 9 p.m. GMT. I think you said 5 a.m. your time, is it? Oh, I'm sorry about again.
No, 3 p.m. 3 p.m. my time.
So yeah, in 4 hours' time, then pretty much 4 and a bit, wherever you are in the world.
Yeah.
Makes it easy, doesn't it? 4 hours.
Yes.
Yes. So expect banter and good music from 2 fucking amazing producers in their own rights.
Yes, and audience, you get to get in on it too, because after the 2 sets, there's going to be a vote for which one you liked best, or which one you felt showcased their chosen producer to the best ability, or whatever. It's all in good fun. But yeah, the result of the battle is in your hands, so you definitely need to be there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So when do you stream typically? What's your schedule so we can make sure everybody knows?
As of last week is Wednesdays 7 o'clock GMT. Again, sorry about the other.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
And Saturday from 8 is the 2 that I chose.
Okay.
It was hard to choose because there's so many DJs 24/7 now. We don't step on each other's toes, which is cool. I always thought, if I did the same time as someone, are they going to think I'm trying to? But that's gone out the window now. There's so many, I guess. And so yeah, I almost just picked a couple of days that I thought that I'd be most likely to commit to, shall we say? So Wednesday midweek and a Saturday. So have a few gins or craft ales, because I'm not just a gin drinker, by the way.
Oh, craft beer, nice.
Yes, yeah.
What's your favorite beer style?
Pale ale, Indian pale ale, probably.
Okay.
Stronger the better, usually.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Small batch stuff.
Nice.
Little tins usually, because
nice.
You get them in you quickly, forget how much you drank, wake up with a fucking disgusting hangover, and do it all again, I guess.
Yeah. Nice. Okay, so we know about the battle. We know about your streams, Wednesdays at 7 and Saturdays at 8
You've got a
p.m.
good memory.
GMT time. I try. So for the US on Wednesdays, that would be uh, uh, 4 p.m. Eastern. And on Saturdays, that would be 3 p.m. Eastern. So I had to do two maths there. I had to convert
Wow.
to Central and then to Eastern.
Yeah.
So
I could not be doing that. Could not be doing that.
I
But
I talked
not
to so
strictly
many.
limited at
Yeah,
all to those two times. I will be doing
yeah,
some pop-ups
yeah.
randomly to try and accommodate some of my other following that might not be in the 1,000 different time zones that we know about.
Yes, so
So
many.
that's kind of
It's it's a great problem to have so many people that you want to interact with in so many different time zones. But
there's always someone awake somewhere.
exactly, exactly. I think E-Town Junglist proves that for us, and Church of Drummer Bass proves that for
He's
us.
a different kettle of
Considering,
fish.
whew,
If he's still in here, guy doesn't sleep. So much respect for him. I need my beauty sleep, as you can tell, and
well,
haven't got a lot recently. So for my
I need
sins,
more. Um,
no, I think you've
I
had
could
too
use
much.
more. No, not even close. God, I wish I had more sleep. Um, anything else that you want to tell us about while you've got a captive audience here?
Um, I think we've covered. I mean, there's so much stuff that I would have forgotten. Obviously, so many raves, so many sets that I've done that
Yeah, yeah,
especially if you go to an after party, you're not going to remember nothing about the next night. Do you know what I mean? Or
yeah,
where you've
yeah,
ended up waking up. So, been a few of
yeah.
those times. Um,
Mostly, I remember feelings and not necessarily details. Like, you know,
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
I what I was specifically meaning though was like anything about yourself that you would like to promo while you're here, while we have this, audience here. So we've already promoted the contest and we've promoted your stream specifically, but is there anything else you want to tell us about? Anything special coming up? Um, you know.
Um, Chase Brewery gin is good. They're quite local. I'd recommend getting the little samples of those if you want to get into gin.
Nice.
I'm not very good at promoting myself. It's not cringy is not the word. Just I don't know, I just don't feel like I want to be
Yeah.
self-loathing in my own sweaty pit of weirdness. Um,
Well,
I'd
that's
rather
my
promote.
job then.
I prefer promoting other people and other things that I like.
Yes. Yes.
Generally.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. I get that. But yes, so that gets to be my job when you're here is,
right.
timer scrolling with links and,
Absolutely. Oh,
asking
big up
you
Larcy as
stuff.
well.
Yeah.
Nick, big up. Love you, guy, more than you know. Thank you for knocking on my door the other night. Caught you on
Aw.
my camera. Sorry, I was busy in the old Warzone game, but yeah, massive shout to you, bro.
Nice. Very nice. Um shoot. Well, yeah. So we are close to the end here. Thank you so, so, so much
No, thank
for
you.
being here and for your time. Time is our most limited and precious resource. So the fact that you gave it to me today and to all of us is really appreciated by me for sure.
Thank you.
Um, let's see here. I'm
Oh, big
gonna
up Burner.
check.
Big up Burner as well.
Yeah, Burner. Oh my God,
Sick,
Burner's
sick. One of my
amazing.
favourites. Plays old stuff. Really old
I
stuff
want
as
to.
well, which a lot don't.
I want to get Burner on this stream so bad, so so bad. Um, uh, he has so many, like he just has so much experience and
Yeah.
stories and but I know he doesn't like to name drop and not that that's how he does things because that's not his style. But
He's
one
one of the only
day,
DJs that I can watch for an hour or two and not even know half the tunes that he's played. He's got that much knowledge and that much, versatility in what styles he has. So,
yes,
massive shout to you, bro.
yes, you can and in the same stream you can hear so many different things. You can hear
Absolutely.
like before it was jungle hardcore
Yeah,
all the way through to like something that came out yesterday. It's fantastic and it's all good music and it's all well mixed and he understands completely the genre and how to mix it and all of that stuff. Okay. You know what, guys? We're going to rate into Gouda. He's only got 30 minutes left, but he's got 333 people in there right now, and I would like to see him have a few more.
Absolutely.
So, before we do that, guys, speaking of E-Town Junglists, he's going to be on stream on the 13th with me. But this Tuesday, Beats Pacific Guru is going to be on the stream with me. So I'm super excited about that. The 10th, so next Saturday, I am not streaming. I'm actually going to go out in the real world and go to the movies with my friends now that I'm vaccinated, and they are too. It's amazing. So, yeah, so 2 streams coming up. We're going to raid into Gouda. We're 5 minutes early, but that's fine. You guys know about my birthday stream and fundraising. If you want to help, awesome. If you don't, that's fine too. I just wanted to do something for somebody else for my birthday. I'm lucky. I don't need a lot. So yeah, I'm going to take us out, put the video on, and we're going to raid into Gouda. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me,
Lewis.
again.
I really appreciate it. All right.
Anytime.
See you guys later.
Big love to everyone.
Sit back and relax a while.